Here is something most people do not realize. Climate science creates an absolutely staggering amount of data. Satellites, weather stations, ocean buoys, atmospheric sensors. They generate petabytes of information every single day. Traditional computer models simply cannot keep up. That is where AI comes in. Deep learning systems can process this flood of climate data in real time and identify patterns that human scientists would miss entirely. In 2026, models powered by transformer architectures similar to what powers ChatGPT are being used to predict hurricane paths with 90% accuracy 3 days in advance. That is a massive leap from just 5 years ago. The Stanford AI Index Report 2026 calls climate modeling one of the highest impact applications of artificial intelligence. And the results speak for themselves. Communities are getting evacuation warnings days earlier. Farmers are adjusting planting schedules based on hyperlocal predictions. And insurance companies are pricing risk based on actual data rather than guesswork. The energy grid is the backbone of modern civilization, and it is also one of the biggest sources of carbon emissions on the planet. But AI is making it dramatically more efficient. Smart grids powered by machine learning algorithms can predict energy demand down to the minute. They know when people will crank up their air conditioners, when factories will ramp up production, and when millions of electric vehicles will need charging. And they balance the load accordingly. But here is where it gets really interesting. AI is making renewable energy viable in ways that were impossible just a few years ago. Solar and wind power have always had a fundamental problem. They are intermittent. The sun does not always shine and the wind does not always blow. But AI weather prediction models can forecast solar output and wind speeds with remarkable precision. This allows grid operators to mix and match energy sources dynamically. When the AI predicts a cloudy afternoon, it schedules extra battery storage overnight. When it forecasts strong winds, it dials back the gas plants. This technology alone could reduce global carbon emissions by up to 15% by 2030 according to a study from the International Energy Agency. Wildfires are getting worse every year. In 2025 alone, wildfires cost the global economy over $300 billion in damage. They destroyed homes, killed wildlife, and pumped millions of tons of carbon into the atmosphere. But AI is fighting back. In California, a system called ALERTWildfire uses a network of over 1,000 high-definition cameras mounted on mountain peaks. These cameras feed into an AI model that can detect smoke before any human could spot it. The AI analyzes the images frame by frame, looking for the telltale signs of a fire starting. And it works. In 2025, this system detected fires an average of 23 minutes faster than traditional reporting methods. 23 minutes might not sound like much, but in a wildfire that spreads at the speed of a sprinting human, those minutes save lives. Similar systems are now being deployed in Australia, Greece, Canada, and Brazil. AI is also being used to predict where fires are most likely to start by analyzing vegetation dryness, lightning strike data, and human activity patterns. Fire departments use these risk maps to pre-position resources before fires even begin. Methane is a greenhouse gas that is over 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide in the short term. And the world is leaking it everywhere. Landfills, oil and gas wells, livestock farms, rice paddies. The problem is that methane leaks are incredibly hard to track. They come from millions of diffuse sources. But AI is changing the game. The United Nations International Methane Emissions Observatory uses satellite data combined with machine learning algorithms to detect methane plumes from space. The AI scans hyperspectral satellite imagery and identifies the unique spectral signature of methane. It then pinpoints the exact source. In 2026, this system has identified over 50,000 super-emitter sites worldwide, many of which were previously unknown. Operators are notified in real time and can dispatch repair crews to fix leaks that would otherwise have gone undetected for years. The UN estimates that AI-powered methane detection could reduce global methane emissions by 30% by 2028, which would be the single fastest way to slow down global warming. And this is technology that exists right now, not something from a sci-fi movie. Here is something you probably did not know. AI is in a race to discover new materials that could literally suck carbon out of the air. Traditional materials science involves years of trial and error in the lab. But AI can simulate millions of chemical combinations in a matter of days. Google DeepMind recently used an AI model to discover over 380,000 new stable materials. Among them were novel compounds optimized specifically for carbon capture. The AI predicted which crystal structures would bond most effectively with carbon dioxide molecules. Similarly, AI is revolutionizing battery technology. Better batteries mean more electric vehicles and more grid-scale storage for renewable energy. AI models are designing new electrolyte formulations and electrode architectures that dramatically improve battery life and charging speed. One lab at MIT used an AI system to discover a new solid-state electrolyte in just 3 weeks. A discovery that would have taken a human researcher years. This is the kind of breakthrough that makes electric vehicles cheaper and renewable energy storage practical at scale.